Unless you've been living under a rock the last couple years, and if you were, I wouldn't blame you, you probably have noticed the absolute monsoon tsunami of mini computers that has flooded the market. They're cheap, they're small, they can hide in places, and I mean, they're cute, right? But we're kind of getting to the point where I feel like we might be missing the plot a bit. This is the Minisforum AtomMan G7 PT. It is a gaming mini computer. I mean, it's pretty small, but this is $1,000 US. That's like gaming laptop territory. I don't even know what to think about this anymore. I mean, it's huge. Here's the computer. We got that right there. Oh, it comes with a stand. Very cool. This power brick is almost the same volume as some of their higher end mini computers. HDMI cable in the box like that, and the power cable. You might be wondering, why is this thing so large? And if you haven't guessed already, it's because it has a dedicated graphics card inside of it. Specifically the 7600M XT from AMD, which is paired with the 7945HX processor inside of it. So this is an AMD on AMD computer. On the front, USB Type A, combo mic audio jack, and USB Type-C. This little guy, you click the button and presumably those LEDs change to tell you what performance mode you're in. That's cool, we'll try that out in a little bit. On the bottom, power connector for the gargantuan power brick. And on the back, holy I/O, Batman. On the back, we've got DP 2.0, HDMI 2.1, Type-C with DisplayPort alt mode, 3 10 gig USB Type A's, a 2.5 gig LAN, and then discrete headphone and mic jacks. Curiously, this guy on the front is not USB 4 or Thunderbolt, and neither is this one. So you can't hook up an eGPU to this computer. I mean, it has a dedicated graphics card in it, so that's not really like the plot. If that's your plan, probably buy like a UM790 Pro or 890 Pro, which have USB 4 and hook an eGPU up to that. You're gonna save yourself a bunch of money. But if your plan was to buy this and then like upgrade in 6 months, you're not gonna be doing that. Maybe you could mod it with like an M.2. We'll see when we open it up, but as is, no eGPU. Power button on the top. There's a little hole there. I'm imagining there is a reset. I saw there was maybe another hole here. I don't know what these holes are for. One of these probably does reset. I kind of wish this had 5 gig LAN like that other Minisforum we looked at recently. That would have been cool. Stand, okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I was worried that it didn't have like, see? Magnets, how do they work? Okay, ready? Yeah, there we go. How does the power, oh, it's right angle, I see. Okay, so you stick the doohickey in the hole, and then you do like that. And then you do like that. Well, that's pretty clean. I like that. I guess all that's left is like the design. I have seen on the product photos that there's gonna be something lighting up here. I don't know what that is yet. And on this side, it's like Spider-Man themed, I guess. It's all mesh here, which is good for cooling. You can see the fans right there. And then we got a grill on the front, grill on the top. Can I take this off? Oh, this is magnetic. Whoa. Okay, so we've got the light panel thingies behind. What is this? ASUS. What I recall from CES, when they were showing me this, is the intention is, A, you can just take it out and then just have like a panel here. Or, you know, if you were like an esports company or something, you could just order custom panels and put them in there. I'm gonna put it back on there without it. I'm sorry, animator dude, I don't like your logo on the side of my gaming computer. It's just gonna be like red. We'll have to see if it's RGB in a sec here. That's pretty much it on the outside. Let's turn the bloody thing on. Whoa, it is RGB. The block, I kind of like just the squares. It's like a dance party. You know what this dance move's called? This segue to our sponsor. MSI, they put the cool in back to school, and this season MSI has you covered with deals on gaming laptops, AI capable machines, gaming handhelds, and more. Because nothing says back to school like gaming. So check out the fully spec'd certified gamer Cyborg 14 and the rest of MSI's back to school sale at the link down below and elevate your tech game this semester. I figured out what the two holes on the front are. These are microphones, it's two sides. I can see in OBS. There's like discrete right and left. Interesting. Okay, the one on the top then must be reset. It's got MediaTek Wi-Fi 7, which is, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any experience with this particular chipset, but generally I would like to see Intel Wi-Fi 7, especially on a $1,000 US device. This one came configured with two 16 gig sticks of 5,200 megatransfers per second DDR5. And then we've got our 7945HX as we saw before. We have a 1 terabyte Kingston SSD, Gen 4x4. It's $1,000 US without anything installed. So in this configuration, it's 1,200, I think. It's 1,200 right now, which says early bird pricing, but Minisforum does this thing where they say like early bird pricing and then the pricing never increases. It's in the quiet mode right now, which I like the quiet mode. It's quiet. I like, very nice. Somehow drawing 30 watts. Okay, so if I click this button, fan immediately go burr. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's got apparently quite the cooling setup, which we'll see in a minute when I take it apart. Something about liquid metal, many heat pipes, and for some reason, gold. It's pretty loud in this here mode. Why is it, what's 80 degrees? What the hell is this thing doing? Nothing. Windows update. I swear to you, sir, stop. End task. Oh, that actually worked. Alrighty, let's open a Cinebench. We'll do a little Cinebench, see how warm she gets. CPU multi-core, it's in the loud mode. Hey, look, it's as fast as an M1 Ultra in Cinebench. Actually, it's faster technically on multi-core. Oh yeah, okay. So throughout, in the hot boy mode, 70 degrees Celsius and 85 watts on the CPU. GPU is chilling around 50. Interesting, look at that. So you can see down here, during this run, it was telling the GPU that the most power it could use is like 8 to 15 watts. And then now that we are screen capping on it again and not running a stupid CPU load, it's saying that the GPU could use like 40 watts and it's actually using like 17. Dynamic power balancing, very cool. Steam knows the FPS, AMD, the driver for the graphics card apparently does not. But I'm driving around Cyberpunk 1080p medium preset with FSR turned off, and we're vibing around 100 FPS. It's drawing 112 watts from the GPU. Ultra's probably a bit optimistic, one might say, but let's try it. Does this have ray tracing on? No, because it doesn't do that, right? Okay, we're on Ultra now. 80 FPS, did they optimize this game? That's pretty good. Ultra between 70 and 80 FPS at 1080p. No FSR. Oh, let's look at the temps. Oh, she was getting toasty. Almost 90 degrees, drawing 80 watts on the CPU. It was telling it could do 180 watts, but it was actually doing 115, and the GPU was 70 degrees. So combined, we're looking at like 200 watt power draw in Cyberpunk. Overall, I mean, it games pretty good. Not as fast as Intel Wi-Fi, but this is what you get with an AMD computer. They're usually not gonna put an Intel chipset with an AMD CPU. Upload speed, it's just like across the board slower. Like this would be like 600 and 800 or 700, and it's just less good. Not scientific, who knows? Maybe this AP is super overloaded, but let's take it apart. One thing I did find out, these LED panels, they change colors every 2 seconds. It's not configurable yet, which is kind of lame. You can't change the speed. I don't know if you can change the color, but it's not an app, it's like in the BIOS. I wonder how this thing comes apart. Oh, look at that, grill comes off. Cool, now it looks way cooler all of a sudden. Even, why is it Spider-Man? It's like a web. Oh, yeah, okay, that did something. That sounded crunchy. Okay, there's nothing attached to that, that's good. Is it just, no, huh? What the, holy heatsink, Batman, what the hell? So does this just peel off? Oh, this feels wrong. Oh, yeah, oh, we can put that back-ish. Oh, that's a fair bit of heatsink there, brother. So this entire section here, heatsink, more heatsink, 2 big old blower fans. I wish I could see more of this cooling thing. I don't really want to take it off because it's liquid metal, but where do the SSDs go? If you buy this thing bare bones, you got to be able to get in there. I don't think they're on this, they must be on the other side. Maybe it is just these panels just come out like super easy and I'm just overthinking it. You know, there probably is a universe in which this thing has a manual. Okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Oh, there it is, look at all that stuff in there. Okay, so there's 2 little cables for this doohickey with the panel. Yeah, don't take the thing I took off. Just leave that side alone. Leave this guy on. Just take these off. 2 little screws. That was very easy to get in here. We got our RAM sticks. What is this guy? This is like a cooler for the SSDs. Wait, we can see under the little M.2 cooler thing that it has 2 M.2 slots, one of which is PCIe Gen 4x4 and the other is PCIe Gen 5, which they say is, oh, it's the first mini PC with PCIe Gen 5 M.2s. That's cool. The one that they shipped in this system, which is not the bare bones one, this 1 terabyte, which is what you would get if you bought the thing, is Gen 4, so keep that in mind. This heatsink on the back here goes all the way up to here, like this. And then that fan, you can see it right here. Just a little bit extra fanage to do a little more extra cooling. And then you have the little fan for the M.2s. You can see our little MediaTek thing. If you bought this and you're sad about the MediaTek chip, you could just swap it with an Intel one. Oh, good, and the CMOS battery is on the serviceable side. Oh look, that's stuck right back on there, like nothing happened. Man, what do I say about this? I mean, at the price, $1,000 to buy a bare bones or 1,200 with 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, it's not cheap. You're not gonna find these specs in a laptop probably for less, but mind you, laptops also come with a keyboard and a screen and a battery and other things that are useful for doing stuff. It's not super quiet unless you put it in the quiet mode, but it's also not super horribly loud. If you just want performance, like you're gonna be better off building a gaming computer for $1,000 US. You get way better performance than this, but you're probably not buying this for that use case. As a little home theater PC, like if you're in the market for a computer that is this size, it seems like a decent option. If I'm looking for something to compare to, the base model ROG NUC, which is a very similar form factor, much slower CPU, bit better GPU, half the RAM, half the SSD, is $1,629 US. If you go to the top tier model, which still has a slower CPU, although quite a bit faster graphics card, same storage and memory, that's $2,200. So $1,000 US more than this. If this is the form factor you want, I mean, Minisforum, they're swinging and maybe hitting if you are the ball that is for this. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, like down below, get subscribed. Tell me what you think about this thick brick.